Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, this build actually started because of something a little personal. A week ago, after the Remembrance Day ceremony here in Canada, I suddenly remembered the park from my childhood. The place where we cleaned leaves every spring, where the holiday stalls appeared with hot dogs and toys, and where we also took our graduation photos. And that memory just stayed with me. So when I opened The Sims the next day, I literally sat there and thought, okay, I'm rebuilding that park. Not a copy, but the feeling of it. Like the symmetry of the park, the birch trees everywhere, that little sense of celebration and community. And that's what you are watching right now. Just me recreating a place that was such a big part of growing up, but in a way that fits Newcrest and actually works for gameplay. Alright, we are starting right away with the general layout. So I just placed that half-circle platform in the front, and I lowered it just a little bit to add some dimension. I really love doing this because otherwise everything is so flat. And then I made the overall outline with the flooring and those low fences to mark the walkways. This is basically the skeleton of the entire build, and I really wanted the whole park to feel organized and symmetrical, just like the one from my childhood. Moving up to the entrance, the part that I was most excited about, I wanted it to feel almost ceremonial, like you are stepping into a meaningful place and not just a random patch of grass. So I added the big arch, yes, that arch with the mysterious letters. You know, in my head it says something like Newcrest Founders Park, like 3 words, and this is the perfect fit. And actually, I think this zone is the perfect spot for your Sims to celebrate different holidays, so you can turn it into a full festival area. You can also add your own selling tables, swap in different market stalls, or decorate it for any event. And I really love how flexible it is for gameplay. And honestly, during winter you could even remove the fountain and place a big Christmas tree there, surround it with holiday stalls and lots of holiday decorations, and I think it becomes the cutest little seasonal market. Well, you could already see that I placed the romantic garden planters there. These urn planters always set such a lovely tone, like a little historical, a little elegant, and I think they instantly make the entrance feel cared for. Then I added outdoor wall sconces on the arch pillars. I'm always thinking about how the lot looks at night, and without this, the entrance becomes a dark void, so the scones really anchor the structure and keep it cozy in the evening. And after that, the flags go on top of the arc. I love imagining they represent different groups who just built this community, or maybe different worlds that contributed to Newcrest history. And then, of course, the main fountain. This one is from my wedding stories, and honestly, this is like the only reason I even used that pack in this build. But it just works so well as a centerpiece. Right after the fountain, I get into the lawn part, decorating the main pathway. First come the debug outdoor lights with those beautiful yellow flowers. This is the moment where the park suddenly starts feeling real. I think the warm yellow flowers blend much better with the birch trees I'll add later, and they soften all the symmetry. At the end of this central path, I placed the statue. I love the idea of this being as one of the founder statue, so it really anchors everything. And he looks very serious, very I built this town with my bare hands and one shovel. Good for him. Next, the trash bins and benches go in. This is all base game, but placing them symmetrically is a little meditative or a little bit stressful, maybe, depending on how picky I am feeling. And then I added the other yellow flowers from cottage living, along with the green bushes. This part really took forever. So while I'm placing this, which you are watching speed up, imagine me just trying 5 different swatches, trying them rotated, resizing the bushes, like deleting 20 items by accident and replacing everything again. But to be honest, these flowers make the entire midsection of the park just pop. Once the bench and flower marathon is done, I just added 2 floor lamps pointing at the founder statue. Again, evening lighting is a big deal for me, so if it looks dramatic at sunset, I'm happy. Then come the poplar trees behind the statue. These give height and structure, and they pull the eye upward. I think they also reflect the shape of the park's back area, so they kind of tie the front and back together. And after that, I added a few more poplars behind the arc, 4 on each side. But I left the space under the arc empty, so Sims can walk through cleanly. And this finished the entire entrance for me. It suddenly felt balanced and, even monumental. On the right side of the lot, I decided to place the base game outdoor bathroom, which is essential for any park that wants to feel realistic. I kept this area very simple, just some bushes and the little grass pathways leading to it. Nothing fancy, but very functional. And honestly, in real-life parks, bathrooms are never beautifully decorated anyway, so this feels authentic. On the opposite side, we are setting up the food area, so here goes the base game coffee stall. I know it's technically not really functional, unless you hire a vendor, but visually it just adds life to the park. And I remember that in my childhood park, they only brought stalls out during holidays, but still the vibe was the same. Also here I added a grill, 2 picnic tables. They are required for the national park lot type anyway, so this spot becomes the official food hub. And finally, here comes the moment of truth, our trees. And yes, I cut most of this footage because nobody wants to see me just placing trees for 20 minutes. But I used a lot of birch trees here, they remind me so much of my childhood park. Then some leafy base game ones, just to mix up the texture. And putting trees in a build like this was actually tricky, because one tree off grid and suddenly the whole park looks crooked, so this took patience. Once the big structure was ready, I started working on the little storytelling corners. First, the main picnic area. I placed 2 bicycles leaning near the trees, because if a family biked here, that's exactly where they would leave them. On the opposite side, closer to the entrance, I added the Lovestruck picnic blanket, which is not just decor, it's functional. I love throwing some small gameplay items into builds like this, so Sims actually can do something instead of just wandering around aimlessly. And next to the blanket, I added a food cooler, the soccer ball and a small dog ball. So it feels like a family spread everything out and is just having fun afternoon. We're almost at the end, and now I'm adding just the debug grass patches from cottage living. These are incredible actually. Without them, the ground feels very flat and too digitally perfect. But with them, it just instant realism. Then I finish everything with the base game terrain paint, and this step just pulled the entire build together. I think it added that slightly lived-in feeling that every real park has. Some spots just trampled, other fresh, which is just natural, and that's the whole park. I didn't expect this build to make me this nostalgic, but to be honest, it was such a comfort project. I really love how it turned out, like the symmetry, the fountain, and the founder's statue, and the whole warm vibe. If you enjoyed watching this come together, give the video a like, it really helps the channel, and subscribe if you want to see more builds like this. And let me know in the comments if you ever had a park that you basically grew up in, because apparently I'm not over mine. If you want to download this build, you can find it on the gallery under my ID Simsioli. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!